It's me, Nancy.
Oh, George, that's not necessary.
I don't know, Nance. Sorry.
Gee, Nancy, I don't know.
Sorry, Nancy. We're fresh out of ideas.
I know what would refuel us. Milkshakes!
Seems pretty obvious, Nance.
We don't want to spoil your fun.
You don't need us for this one.
Definitely not.
I'm stumped.
Ditto. I'm at a loss for words.
Think of it as a blessing in disguise, Nance. I don't know.
Me neither. I don't know.
Me neither. Good night, Nancy.
Or as the French say, bonne nuit.
Bye. Watch out for weird people. Good luck.
Be careful. Bye, Nancy.
See ya. How did you let Lisa get away?
By the time my eyes recovered from that villain venom, she was already out the door.
That's the pits.
I'm sure you could have found some way to pull the rug out from under her, so to speak.
She must be halfway to Rio with that diamond by now.
Ugh, don't remind me. Chalk this one up for the bad guys, I guess.
How did you let Lisa get away?
That's the pits.
I'm sure you could have found some way to pull the rug out from under her, so to speak.
She must be halfway to Rio with that diamond by now.
Dexter made you leave just because you turned on the ski lift?
It's my own fault. I turned it on once before, and he warned me not to do it again.
Then why'd you goof with it?
I had no excuse. Just this rotten curiosity of mine getting me into trouble again.
Maybe if you had a good reason, Dexter would have been more understanding. Dexter made you leave just because you turned on the ski lift?
Then why'd you goof with it?
Maybe if you had a good reason, Dexter would have been more understanding. Well, you're not going to make much headway on that secret door unless you get those weights out of the way.
Doesn't she have some data to collect, George?
Unless she wants to stay in the hotel business forever.
That door in the elevator shaft must lead to the tower. Get the elevator out of the way so you can get a closer look at the door.
I'm sure if Ezra went to this much trouble to hide the entrance, there's going to be some kind of trick getting through the door, too. You're getting close to Marie's journal.
You just need to unscramble that leaf pattern on the wall.
You're stuck. That lever in the elevator shaft is stuck.
It's an all-around sticky situation. The only thing between you and the Queen's Tower now is those missing stairs.
Solve the puzzle at the bottom of the stairs by getting each of those pieces to the home that matches it. The tower, Nancy!
You've got to find a way in there.
Those hanging chains in the tunnel are the key to getting across the pit.
Look around in the tunnel for a clue as to what position each chain should be in.
Gee, Nancy, maybe you should see if Hotchkiss has polished off those drumsticks so she can tell you about the robbery. Maybe the decoder can help you with those symbols on the crest.
But be careful in the tower. Whoever's after that diamond is probably hot on your trail.
The purple rose in the portrait in the tower.
Don't you see? It's all part of her plan.
You'll need a sharp tool. There must be someone who could lend you one.
If there's any chivalry left in the world.
I don't know how to paint a clearer picture for you, Nancy.
Guess you're just gonna have to wait for your next brush with fate.
Translation, secret decoder.
Hello? What are you waiting for?
Stuck?
A sassy detective like you, Nancy?
It's an alarming thought, isn't it, Bess?
You must be dying to know what those messages mean.
Sounds like a job for your trusty translator.
But just because George trusts her doesn't mean you have to, Nancy. How about a power nap?
Maybe your next move will come to you in a dream. Sounds like the medallions have something to do with the people that Hotchkiss found.
I wonder if there's a different message for each medallion.
We've got a hint for you, Nancy.
Are you ready? Take another look around Hotchkiss's room. Maybe you'll uncover some new evidence. Search me, Nance.
What good will that do, Bess? She's not looking for chocolate. What's the holdup with the camcorder?
Patience, George. The batteries usually take about a day to recharge. Nancy hasn't forgotten. It's just a moose chase, huh, Nancy?
You mean a goose chase?
Goose, moose, whatever. You've got to find out what the journal says.
I'd leave Jacques out of it if I were you.
But maybe Hotchkiss could translate. She must be fluent in French.
Don't you need to pay Hotchkiss another visit? Now that you have the brass key, you can get into the tower.
You must be dying to check it out. Has Dexter fixed your radiator yet? Maybe you should see what the holdup is. Aren't you going to follow up on Lisa's tip?
Just don't be afraid to cause a ruckus if you get into any danger out there. Don't you have some more reading to do in that secret room?
Maybe you should talk to Lisa and see what she's been up to. You need to shed some light on the situation in that secret room.
You must be getting close to some answers.
You've got to watch the rest of the videotape.
Who knows what you unlocked when you solved that sextant puzzle? Check out Hotchkiss's room again.
She probably has more than one method of recording her notes. She's got a code without a puzzle, George. What a predicament. I hate to say it, but you should probably take another look in Jacques' locker. He did give you the combo, didn't he? And after all, what are the odds of you getting knocked out twice?
Bess, you don't suspect Romeo, do you?
It pains me.
There's a world of discovery still to be made in the library, Nancy.
Well, a mini world, anyway. What did Ezra say in his poem? Something about the garden and the back of his old, troubled head?
The latch on the garden gate must be frozen.
If your dazzling smile doesn't melt it, you'll have to find another way. Getting into that library is going to take some escalated problem solving, Nancy.
Don't you mean elevated, Bess? Dexter knows you were in the tower tunnels.
You might as well explain.
Isn't it about time you checked out the scene of the crime?
Talk to Dexter and see what's going on with him. Is there a short circuit in your memory, detective?
You still need the key to that iron gate in the tunnel, right?
It's not in your bed.
And it's not in your head.
And it's not colored red.
There, does that help?
You're on your own this time.
We haven't the faintest. Now that the storm has passed, you'll probably want to get out for a breath of fresh air.
And frozen air is the freshest, isn't it, George?
Nothing gets stale at 10 below, that's for sure. Don't be afraid to catch a lift now and then in the course of your investigation.
Move those bolts in the right order, and you'll get through the door. What are you waiting for? The sky to start falling? Don't you have some errands to run? Places to go and people to see? Sure, Nancy, but don't expect us to give you the answers on a silver platter.
We wouldn't want to spoil your fun.
Seeing as you're a senior detective and all.
They don't call us your trusty sidekicks for nothing. And it's no coincidence, if you ask me.
The diamond from Maria's tiara must be hidden somewhere in that castle.
My thoughts exactly.
And you've got to find it before it falls into the wrong hands.
Betcha $5 she's already thought of that too, George. Did his fiancé sound cute in her letter?
Actually, she sounded upset. She wants him to hurry up and do something, but I'm not sure what.
Sounds like that guy is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I hope he's not marrying her just to stay in the country.
A rabbit's foot?
A little green leprechaun?
Guess again. A medallion with a red stone in it. Do you think I should give it back to Dexter?
Oh yeah, like honesty is the best policy with creepy convicts?
I think George is politely trying to say that you should find out what the medallion's for before you breathe a word of it to anyone. You'll probably need it to solve this mystery. Wow, Nancy! Sounds like you need a personal medallion assistant just to keep track.
You're not kidding. But does this mean that Hotchkiss is the one who conked me over the head? Do you think I should return Jacques' medallion to him?
For now, you should keep all of your discoveries to yourself, Nancy.
Except tell us everything, of course.
Did you see the medallion?
I couldn't find it.
Hey, maybe that's what was stolen from a room. I wonder what these medallions are all about.
What makes you think that there's more than one? Maybe Jacques is the thief and he made up that whole story about how his great-grandfather gave it to him.
Oh, George, you're so cynical.
What?
Apparently, she saw Dexter on his way out to the shed, carrying some kind of green ornament. Do you think it could be a medallion?
It's possible.
That sounds like a hot tip, Nancy. Have you checked it out yet?
I will, but I'm still warming up for my last outdoor venture. It's like the North Pole out there.
Well, be careful. We don't want you to come home with frostbitten toes. Find anything interesting?
Apparently, Marie Antoinette was once given an extravagant tiara with a ruby, a sapphire, an emerald, and a humongous diamond in it. But she hated it and refused to wear it.
Who ever heard of a queen who hated jewels?
What's even weirder is that before she was executed, the tiara just disappeared. Nobody has ever found it.
Maybe it's somewhere right in Wickford Castle. And that's what the vandal tore the library apart looking for.
Or it could be the old childhood luck charm Wickford mentioned in the poem. Maybe that's what you saw Dexter hunting for.
Who ever heard of a kid carrying around a bazillion-dollar tiara for good luck? What kind of discovery?
I'm not sure. The tape got cut off. It was something to do with a peephole and a message. She mentioned a medallion too, but I don't know why.
Maybe, when you look through the peephole, you can see a hidden message. If these medallions are involved somehow, that would explain why they're such a hot commodity.
Sounds like the first thing you have to do is find that peephole.
What did you tell him?
I played dumb, like I didn't know. I thought he'd be mad if he knew I'd been prowling around in those tunnels.
So what's the problem?
I'm afraid he didn't believe me.
That's because you're lousy at playing dumb.
You should just tell him the truth, Nancy. After all, you don't want to do anything to make him suspicious of you.
Are you sure they weren't just press passes of some kind?
Maybe she's not a photojournalist at all. Maybe she's a federal agent or a computer hacker.
Yeah, Bess. Or maybe there's a simpler explanation, like she's visiting from the planet Zorbatron. Just ask her about it, Nancy. See how she reacts. If she starts speaking Zorbatranian, you'll know you're onto something. The inventor of chocolate milk was a poet, too?
Yum, I could write a poem or two about chocolate milk.
It says that he hid some sort of luck charm for Dexter to find.
Where?
Something about his old thinking spot somewhere out in the garden. Funny, but I didn't see any garden when I came in.
Well, you can't exactly tiptoe through the tulips when they're buried under 6 feet of snow.
Never mind my cheeky cousin over there, Nancy. When the storm passes, you should go out and see what you can find.
Secret room?
It looks like it was Ezra Wickford's study. Would you believe that Dexter Egan was Wickford's adopted son once upon a time? Until Wickford disowned him?
Why was Dexter disowned?
He was convicted of a felony, counterfeiting. I guess Wickford didn't want any more to do with him after that.
Well, that's a checkered past if I ever heard of one. Wonder what he's doing back at the castle.
Maybe he wants revenge.
Revenge on who? Wickford's dead.
It's not logical, George. It's revenge.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, all right. Lisa Ostrom's heard them too. They sound like they're coming from the belly of the castle.
Maybe the castle has a bad case of indigestion.
Oh!
Seriously, though, have you searched the castle? Maybe it's the library vandal doing more damage.
I agree with Bess. Wait till the sounds start again and then follow your ears. But don't forget, there's more to Ezra Wickford's castle floor plan than meets the eye.
Hear that, Nancy? She agrees with me. I think I'm going to faint. He's probably just overwhelmed being the only one on duty.
Next, he'll probably ask me to take out the garbage.
Think of it as a strategic investment, Nancy. I'll bet he knows a lot about the castle. It couldn't hurt to get on his good side.
I wish he'd just fix my radiator.
The other possibility is that he's up to something, and he needs to keep you busy so you won't notice. I guess you should help him out, Nancy, but keep your eyes open.
That's odd. I wonder what she's so nervous about. I'll bet she's hiding something in her room.
Like what, Bess? The elephant that trampled the library? She's probably just a little freaked. I mean, if her room really was robbed, you'll find a way to make her trust you, Nancy. I'll bet Bess's last slice of pizza on it.
Hey.
What's her deal?
She's a photojournalist doing a story on the castle. She sure got me curious about that tower.
Oh yeah? Does she know where the entrance is?
I don't think so.
Well, keep an eye on her, Nancy. Those photojournalists are born snoopers, you know.
George, are you suggesting that Nancy is a second-class snooper? You're going to give our friend a complex.
Oh, right. Like Nancy doesn't know she's the Prime Minister of snooping.
Ooh la la, those accents should be illegal.
I hate to break it to you, Bess, but he's engaged.
Now there's a real crime.
Right, Bess. Humanity is devastated.
Right, I know.
Wow, I wonder what everyone is looking for.
Maybe one of the books in the library contains a secret code.
Or a treasure map.
Or maybe I'm too late. Maybe the vandal already found it. Whatever it was.
Apparently old Dexter doesn't think so. How did you climb out anyway?
I climbed through a hatch in the roof of the cab and just barely made it up to the next floor.
So you were standing on top of the elevator in the open shaft? Way up high? Ugh, just the thought of it makes my stomach do somersaults.
Anything interesting in the elevator shaft?
Just a metal ladder leading up to this ventilation duct or something. Nothing unusual, except that the cover for the duct looked like it was about to fall off.
Maybe someone needed to inspect the duct and forgot to replace the grate?
Or maybe the duct leads somewhere, like to buried gold, or a hidden...
Bess, that was Nancy's last case. She's in Wisconsin now, not San Francisco.
What do you mean stuck? The elevator broke down?
Well, that's what I thought, until I talked to Dexter, who said it was probably the power switch in the basement.
But Nancy, how could the power switch just go off while you were in the elevator?
Maybe someone turned it off. But why?
That's what I'm wondering.
And what about this robbery? Who got robbed?
I'm not sure. The guest's name is Professor Hotchkiss. I think she's a bit eccentric.
You mean weird?
Nutso?
A few sandwiches short of a picnic?
Okay, you guys. I just mean that I'm not sure how reliable her testimony will be.
Yeah, but she'll probably tell you something important, whether she means to or not.
Boy, oh boy! Have you searched the library for clues yet?
Well, that's the thing. Dexter Egan, the caretaker, says it's locked up and off limits until the police can get here. But who knows when that'll be.
That's funny, Nancy. I didn't know the phrase off limits was even in your vocabulary.
Seriously, though, don't you think that your dad's friend, Christy Lane, would feel better knowing that you're on the case, at least until the police can take over?
She's right, Nancy. I mean, who knows what this Egan guy is all about anyway? Sounds like you're just gonna have to find an alternative entrance to that library.
Here I go again. Just hope I don't have to slide down the chimney.
Oh,
George, it's Nancy.
it's okay, Ma.
George, I need to talk to you.
Don't worry, Mom. I haven't forgotten.
George,
Hello?
good morning.
Good morning, Nancy. How's life at the castle?
Bonjour.
Bess, is that you?
Hi, Nancy. Just brushing up on my French in case you need any help questioning Jacques Brunet.
As a matter of fact, he's my new #1 suspect.
What?
He's the one who's been making those creepy sounds. I caught him trying to saw through an iron gate to get into the Queen's Tower.
You're kidding. First he's engaged, and now this? What is the world coming to?
Did he have any explanation?
Well, he said he's looking for Marie Antoinette's journal. He's on a mission to return it to his country.
That sounds admirable.
Maybe. He said he wanted to show me some sort of medallion
A medallion?
with a blue stone in it. It's a long story, but he thinks it once belonged to Marie Antoinette.
Blue like an aquamarine, or blue like a sapphire?
What's that got to do with anything?
Just curious. I like aquamarines personally.
Anyway, he sent me to his locker to get it.
And?
As soon as I opened his locker, someone conked me on the back of the head. The next thing I knew, I was seeing stars.
Oh my gosh! Nancy, are you okay?
Yeah, just frustrated. I never should have fallen for that great-grandfather story.
What about the medallion?
I got a look at it, but I sure don't have it now.
Uh-oh. Bonjour.
Bess, is that you?
Hi, Nancy. Just brushing up on my French in case you need any help questioning Jacques Brunet.
As a matter of fact, he's my new #1 suspect.
What?
He's the one who's been making those creepy sounds. I caught him trying to saw through an iron gate to get into the Queen's Tower.
You're kidding. First he's engaged, and now this? What is the world coming to?
Did he have any explanation?
Well, he said he's looking for Marie Antoinette's journal. He's on a mission to return it to his country.
That sounds admirable.
Maybe. He said he wanted to show me some sort of medallion
A medallion?
with a blue stone in it. It's a long story, but he thinks it once belonged to Marie Antoinette.
Blue like an aquamarine, or blue like a sapphire?
What's that got to do with anything?
Just curious. I like aquamarines personally.
Anyway, he sent me to his locker to get it.
And?
I haven't done it yet.
Nancy, what are you waiting for? It could be important. Maybe he needs your help. Bonjour. Hi, Nancy. Just brushing up on my French in case you need any help questioning Jacques Brunet. Check this out. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? What? You're kidding. First he's engaged, and now this? What is the world coming to?
Did he have any explanation?
That sounds admirable.
A medallion?
Blue like an aquamarine, or blue like a sapphire?
What's that got to do with anything?
Just curious. I like aquamarines personally.
And? Hello?
Hi, George.
Hey, Nancy. What's the latest?
That ventilation duct in the elevator shaft? It leads to the library.
I knew it! So you got inside?
Did the vandal do a lot of damage?
It was a mess in there, all right. The vandal even clawed a big hole in one of the walls. He, or she, must have been desperate to find something.
Like what?
I don't know. Before I could really investigate, Dexter came in.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
I hid back in the duct. He was looking for something, and then he left.
Well, that sounds awfully suspicious. Didn't he say he didn't want anything touched until the police came? Fane Family Switchboard, how may I direct your call?
Is that you, Bess Marvin?
Sure is. What's up, Nancy?
Hello?
Hi, it's me.
How's it going, Nancy? Are things calming down around the castle?
Not unless you find it calming to climb out of a stuck elevator.
Hello?
George?
And Bess too. What's new, Nancy?
Hi. You've reached the Fane residence, but no one's home to take your call. Please run 5 laps around the castle and try again later. Hello?
George, it's Nancy.
Great timing, Nancy. Bess and I were just saying how we wish we were out on the ski slopes with you. Hang on, I'll get her to pick up the other phone. Hey, Bess, our favorite detective's on the phone.
Hey, Nancy. How's the vacation?
Goodbye. Bye, kiddo. You're a trooper. Alrighty then. Well then, what can I say except good thinking? What kind of a stunt was that, Missy? Okay, we're really making progress here, kid. So, you go up to Hotchkiss's room and see what she wants for dinner. She's not answering her phone. Could you check the circuit breaker in the basement and make sure it's working? Hotchkiss called to report that she got her boots. But now I'm told that the light is out in the back stairwell. I was wondering when you were going to come to your senses and fess up. Am I mad? A while. I can help you, but we shouldn't talk about it now. Not here. Call me later. Some things can't be explained, kid. It was a long time ago, and nothing can change it now. It's nothing but wasteland out there. If you're bent on tromping around in the cold, go left when you get outside, away from the shed. Look for a wrought iron gate. You'll figure out the rest. Forget about it. There's nothing out there but dead weeds and crumbling statues. Once in a while he'd bring me out there and teach me about his favorite flowers, but that was like 100 years ago. There was a private area of the garden. Yeah, the entrance was hidden, so no one could bother him there. All right, I did live here for a few years, once upon a time. I was an orphan until Ezra Wickford came along and adopted me. But I left the castle when I was 16, and I never saw him again. That's the story, all right? They call it the past for a reason, okay? Because it's over. You could say that. Well, I doubt it's broken. I'll check the power switch in the basement. Glad you're okay. But don't go climbing around the elevator shaft anymore. It's dangerous in there. Forget about it. A crime was committed, and for once in my life, I'm following the proper procedures. Okay then, drumsticks we got. Oops, but I guess Jock better take that bag of chicken legs out of the freezer. Will you tell him? And then take the rest of the day off, kid. Your radiator's as good as fixed. Couscous? Never heard of it. Tell her to order something off the menu. Thanks for dealing with the circuit breaker. Sorry, not yet. I can't even think about fix-it jobs until Madam Hotchkiss gets her boots. See ya, kid. The information you request is highly sensitive, young lady. That's top secret in case you were wondering. Now, I've been around the block a few times, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't be too careful. If you want answers, we do it my way, see? Oh yeah, and pay attention. Some of those chains make other ones move. I gotta go. Is there anything else? What other questions do you got? Anything else? Is that it? I've always wondered that myself. Seems like something's missing from the crest. Like different objects should fit in those holes, but I don't know what. All right. Just give me the question. Well, let's see. It says here, snow. Oh yes, and more snow. Look, I'm up to my ears down here. I'll have to talk to you later, sorry. Yeah, I've never been able to unscramble those panels. Too bad I can't take you into the library, so you can at least see what the pattern is supposed to look like. Whatever direction you move a piece in, it'll keep going till it hits a wall or another piece, so the pieces can work as blockades to help each other get home. Play around with it. When you get it, everything will come together. You'll see what I mean. That's just another one of Ezra's security contraptions. The key is to get each of those pieces to the home that matches it. That's right. It's like an Ezra Wickford combo lock. You need to pull those chains until each one's in the right position, and then the bridge will swing around so you can cross. Take a good look at the tunnel wall there to decipher the combo. And for Pete's sake, don't slip when you're crossing the pit. This is Dexter.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, you got a hold of me. What do you need? This is the management. Please bring any and all complaints and/or reports of castle malfunctions to the front desk in person. Thank you. Front desk. Dexter here. Look, this isn't a playground, and I have a job to do. Mess with the ski lift again, and I'll send you packing. Didn't you read the keep away, employees only sign? That's a shame. Don't get lazy on me, Nancy. You don't expect me to tell you everything, do you? Finally, I got into the tunnel, and when I came out with that red dirt all over me, he laughed. He was actually proud of me. Well, not exactly. A mistake was made. Only a small thing, but It didn't take much for him to give up on people. Anyway, yeah, Ezra was a character. He always said he thought dead ends were funny. Ha ha. But the truth was, he was worried sick about being robbed. Maybe it made him feel better to think that a crook would get caught this way. I'd say you earned the right to check out the tower for yourself. But you gotta get through that gate, right? There's an old skeleton key in the maintenance shed. Now that the storm's passed, you can go out and get it. But be careful. It's still dead cold out there. Nope. If you must know, I'm impressed. Ezra Wickford set that secret door up so nobody would be able to find it. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting into that tower. Ezra told me that if I could get through the secret door, he'd take me up to see the Queen's Tower. No, you didn't track it around the castle. Guess it's a mystery. But listen, I don't want to find you out cold on the floor again, so watch your step, Missy. It's just that when I found you out cold in the basement and hauled you back to your room, I noticed all this red dirt on your shoes. I'm just curious where it came from. Well, Hotchkiss has a pair of ski boots in the basement. The Frenchman's been working on them for her, but he won't deliver them. Says he's a ski instructor, not a bellhop. I hate to ask this, but if you could grab those boots and bring them up to her, it might smooth her feathers. Sure would smooth mine. Well, this Professor Hotchkiss just called me in a terrible flap, saying our room's been robbed. I went up there, but she wouldn't open the door to talk about it. Wouldn't even tell me what was missing. So what's she want me to do about it? I can't tell, but somebody's definitely after something. Depends on what you're interested in. Our special this week is the crazy old bird upstairs. Just follow your ears. The peck, peck, peck of that typewriter will lead you right to her. Well, I can take your letter, but the mail's not going anywhere for a while. It's snowing like there's no tomorrow out there. So explore all you want. Take the grand tour. But forget about the library. It's off limits. I have no idea. I straightened up in there before check-in yesterday and everything was fine. Now it looks like a bomb went off. Books everywhere and somebody hacked a big hole in one of the walls. I locked the place up and called the police, but who knows when they'll be able to get here. Everything's under control. Is there something else, Miss Drew? Someone vandalized our historic library. Really turned the place upside down. The owner, Miss Lane, she's gonna be pretty upset. And now to make matters worse, there have been a couple of incidents. Sorry about that inconvenience, but you're just gonna have to sit tight for a while. I'm the only one on duty while the owner's away. And around here it seems like even if it ain't broke, it still needs fixing. Last time I checked, there were only 24 hours in a day. Hey there, Nancy. Did you see I fixed your radiator? I have no time to talk to you. Whatever it is, I'm sure you don't need my help. Thanks for coming down. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's your head? Did you slip or what? What's up, Nancy? If it isn't Nancy Can-Do Drew, I'll get on that radiator right away. But be sure to tell Jock to defrost the chicken, okay? Did you bring Hotchkiss a menu? So what does Hotchkiss want for dinner? Yes? Did you figure out the problem with the circuit breaker? Can I help you? Did Hotchkiss get her boots? Hello, Miss Drew. Did you get squared away upstairs? This time you've pushed me too far. You leave me no choice. The next time I lay eyes on you, you better be dragging a suitcase. What's going on out here? Is that you, Nancy? What are you, a ski lift mechanic too? Come inside. It's freezing out here. This time you've pushed me too far. The next time I lay eyes on you, you better be dragging a suitcase. Well, 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 look who returned to the scene of the crime. You're out of here. It's freezing out here. Come inside. Is that you, Nancy? What's going on out here? I warned you about this. For crying out loud. What the? I don't have time to clean this up. Okay, I hear you. The least you could have done was left me a hint. I know you hid that thing around here somewhere. Darn you crazy old man. Yeah, Mr. This is Dexter at the front desk. Can you come down when you're feeling better? I need to talk to you for a minute. Thanks.
Bye. Ciao. Allez, bye-bye. À bientôt. This is too much. Oh la la. Unbelievable. Oh la la. You can't be serious. But you do have my medallion, right? Nancy, it's Jacques. What happened? Are you okay? Dexter must be confused. Because I think that is the combination for number 311. Try 311. Oh la la la. What does he think I am? A sous chef? It was the worst day of my life. To fall flat on my face with my family, my country, and the rest of the world watching. Oh, you said it, Nancy. Yes, but disappointing, frustrating, Humiliating. When I am not skiing, I need some other way to express myself. So voila! I make these hot boxes for keeping secrets safe. I'm sure you have many secrets, Nancy. Before he could get back to study the journal and return the medallion, the tower was dismantled and shipped to America. He never learned who the journal belonged to or what it said. Or perhaps it contains proof of her innocence. Either way, the contents of that journal could change French history forever. One day, when he was working alone, he found a secret compartment in one of the walls. Oh, you are the best, Nancy. Now will you help me? I think this medallion will interest you. And maybe you'll have some idea what it's for. It's in my locker. Will you go get it while I take care of something? The combination is 2665. I'll meet you in the locker room in a minute. Okay, Nancy, I see your point. I will explain everything to Christy Lane as soon as possible. Oh, Nancy, you must believe me. I would never try to destroy that beautiful library. After all, most of those books are French. I have no idea. I believe whoever hid that journal must have left the medallion with it as a part of their message. But what? Nancy, do you think you could help me? Let me show you this medallion, and maybe you'll be able to tell me what it's for. I know it's possible that someone found the secret compartment when the tower was being put back together, but I have to check anyway. I just have to know. The journal bore a royal seal. It must have belonged to Marie Antoinette, because she used to visit the tower during the Revolution. So perhaps it contains her confessions. Oh yes, of course. But it's not just for my great-grandfather. It is for France. I was his only great-grandson. On his deathbed, he gave me the medallion and told me the whole story. He begged me to come here to Wisconsin to find the journal and return it to France. I have the medallion now, and I'm hoping if I can get into the tower, I can find the journal too. You see, he thought if he told his story, Ezra Wickford might get angry, accuse him of interfering with the project, and try to ruin his name as a carpenter. So he kept quiet. Inside, he found an old journal with a royal crest on the cover and a medallion with a strange blue stone in it. But he heard other carpenters coming, so he hid the medallion in his pocket and sealed the journal back in the compartment. The tower first belonged to the Chateau Rochemont in France. When Ezra Wickford bought the tower, my great-grandfather was the master carpenter in charge of dismantling it and preparing it for shipment. The tower holds a valuable French historical document. If I can find it and return it to France, perhaps I can make up for my failure at the Olympics. I am doing this for my country and for my family's name. Isabelle has nothing to do with it, except that I feel I must succeed before I will feel worthy to marry her. Nancy, I had nothing to do with what happened in the library. I swear I can explain, Nancy, but please, don't tell anyone that you found me here. If I get sent back to France, my fiancé will give up on me, and I will have let down my family again. Nancy, what are you doing here? Au revoir, little Miss Nightmare. When I showed up, you were having a catnap on the floor. Ugh, I will be ruined by you American women. Set up? What are you talking about? All I know is my medallion is gone. I should never have trusted you. A pretty girl should not hear about such ugly things. Do not ask me about the affairs of my heart, Nancy, or I will think you are trying to steal it. Why is it you American girls never know how to separate business from pleasure? It comes from the Chateau Rochemont in a town in France near where I grew up. Didn't you notice it when you drove in? Marie Antoinette used to visit this tower when she was Queen of France. Until she lost her head in the Revolution, that is. Get along just fine, you say? Ah, a woman who knows her own powers of persuasion. Elle est dangereuse, no? Yes, that is another great truth about American girls. Well, with the weather so terrible, I suppose I get neither. But you see, yes, I fixed her boots. But you should be relaxing by the fire, sipping cocoa, Nancy. Not running errands for Dexter. I should warn you, Dexter is very protective of this place. He does not take kindly to people snooping around where they should not. Nancy, a pretty girl should not worry herself with this type of thing while she is on vacation. But tell me, how will you spend your time here, Nancy? The French are talented people, Nancy. We are good at many things, not just making wine and romance, you know. I am speaking of the Queen's Tower, of course. As soon as possible. That is excuse enough to be in Wisconsin, n'est-ce pas? And besides, I am not the first French work of art to end up here. I am here for Isabelle, mon petit chou. She is an American studying at the university in Madison, and I've asked her to marry me. My excuse? Hi, Nancy. Bonjour, Nancy. Oh la la. She's like a fly buzzing in my ear. Just leave me alone, okay? You again? I'm busy. Look, keep the stupid medallion. It's yours. Nancy, I still cannot believe you lost my medallion. How could you have been so careless? Nancy, I heard you passed out. What happened? Don't tell me you lost my medallion. Did you? Ah, Nancy, comment ça va? Bonjour, mademoiselle. Je m'appelle Jacques Brunet. So, what brings you to beautiful Wisconsin? What is the meaning of this? Turn them back on! Hey! The lights!
Life of leisure, here I come. Life of leisure, here I come.
Au revoir, losers.
Adios, Sherlock.
Bye-bye.
See you later, suckers. Life of leisure, here I come. Help! Get me out of here! It stinks down here. It's all moldy. Darn you, Nancy Drew. You're the worst friend a diamond thief could ever have. Ow! No! Ouch! Ow! Just a little translation mix-up. When I read the message from Hotchkiss's medallion, I thought it meant Diamond of Misery in the library. Whoops. Guess I went a little overboard looking for it in there. Anyway, enough with the questions, Nancy. You'll just have to read the rest in the papers. Haven't you heard? It's a material world, sister, and I am a material girl. Photojournalism pays peanuts, you know, and who wants to work for a living anyway? I was made for a tropical climate, lounge chairs and cabana boys. To spread suspicion around, of course. You know, to play with your mind. Plus, I was at a dead end. I got the 2 messages from the stained glass window, but then what? I knew you would figure it out, so I decided to put the medallions in your hands and let you lead the way. Ouch! I bet that hurt. But I had to get the medallion somehow, didn't I? I hope we can still be friends. Ooh, you are a smarty pants. But let's not forget about your little frostbite incident. I'm the rotten friend who locked you outside too, you know. Just trying to keep you on your toes, Nancy. Didn't want you to get soft on your vacation. Don't worry. My spicy devil villain venom won't last for long. But I'm afraid by the time you get your eyes back, you'll have missed my grand exit. Well, maybe this time you'll learn. Yeah? Well, I belong in the lap of luxury, and that diamond's gonna get me there. Hasn't anybody ever told you to mind your own business? Now why don't you toss me that big honkin' diamond so I can blow this popsicle stand and never set foot in lame-o Wisconsin again? I followed you, of course. Turns out a nosy, goody-two-shoes detective is good to have around after all. Woo! Will you look at that sparkly rock? And me without my sunglasses. Hi, Nance. It's Lisa. Sorry if I acted like a brat before. This article's got me a little stressed. Anyway, we have to be friends so we can gossip about all the suspicious activity around here, right? Wait till you hear what I just saw. Come talk. Bye. Whatever. Keep me posted. Later, Nancy. Stay warm. A savvy photojournalist always carries a couple of alternate identities, Nancy. When you're working under deadline, you don't always have time to play by the rules. I'm sure you know what I mean. According to her site, www.IamHotchkiss.com, she's a Scorpio. Her favorite food is fried chicken legs, and she has 2 ancient pet turtles named Mick and Keith. Just basically that she's off her rocker. I guess I should know, shouldn't I? Too bad most of the places I've covered aren't any weirder than imitation butter. I wish you'd hurry up and find it, though, so we can check it out. Not that I remember. But I probably wasn't even thinking about gardens. I mean, it's hardly croquet weather. Yeah, I looked her up on the internet. The critics panned the book. Looks like other historians think she's a real quack. Well, there is a lot of travel. Too bad I'm so useless with foreign languages. Well, there's nothing glamorous about the pay, I can tell you that much. Yeah? And? Didn't you watch the last Winter Olympics? He's France's big cheese of skiing. He holds the record for the 500-meter slalom, but he totally choked at the games. I guess he's washed up now. But at least his looks haven't gone down the tubes. Va-va-voom. Scandalous cuteness, of course. Not that I could hear. I'm really not sure. Oh, we got scandal, honey. Professor Hotchkiss is claiming she's been robbed, for one thing. But the real scandal is downstairs. His name is Jacques Brunet. I'd love to.
but I really should get to work on my article. Thanks, Nancy, but you're the brainiac. I'll just guard this comfy chair and wait for your report. I thought for sure I was onto something. I still think Dexter's shady. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you. Creepy, right? Teacher's pet. Make sure to come tell me if your research turns up any dirt. Well, let's see. A, Marie Antoinette's infamous diamond tiara has never been found. And B, why else would someone spend her entire life researching some silly old queen? Crusty old papers. My favorite. Like what? A big fat diamond? Fine, don't trust me. But don't expect me to cover for you next time you're snooping around in that elevator shaft. That is weird. You're such the detective, Nancy. I can't wait to hear what you find out next. Really? What else? Do tell. I knew it. So, what'd you find in there? Dead bodies? Ezra Wickford's icky childhood bug collection? You're no fun. Oh, come on, Nancy. You've been on the prowl. I can tell by the sparkle in your eye. I mean, did we stumble onto the set of As the Castle Turns or what? Well, you probably want to get settled. I wonder what we're going to do with ourselves while we're all cooped up in this place. So, has Hotchkiss let you in on her brilliant theory yet? Oh, just your average bump in the night sound effects. It's probably just Dexter trying to spook up the hotel for the publicity. Not really. But I sure want to get into that tower that came from France. It'd be great for my story. Too bad Wickford sealed it off. Maybe it's his ghost making those creepy noises at night. Hardly. I'm just a humble photojournalist covering weird old mansions in the Midwest, and this place is one of the weirdest. Did you know Ezra Wickford, the original owner, shut himself away in here for like 50 years? Apparently, the only guests who made it here before the blizzard set in are you, me, and Professor Hotchkiss. And then there's the on-staff suspects, Dexter, our friendly desk clerk, and Jacques Brunet, ski instructor extraordinaire. I haven't the faintest. I mean, who would want to mess with a bunch of dusty old books? Anyway, it's all locked up now, so maybe we'll never know. She just kept wailing, my theory, my theory. I think she teaches history, or maybe a foreign language. I thought I heard a couple of French words pop out of her mouth. But don't quote me on that either. I only barely passed Spanish in high school. Oh my gosh! Wait till you hear this! Hotchkiss is this nutty old woman who's always typing and talking to herself in her room. I was walking past her door earlier, and I heard her screaming that her room had been robbed. Well, yeah, if you must bring morals into it. So, you must be Nancy Drew. I saw the guest list, and you're too normal to be Professor Hotchkiss. Too bad, huh? I'm dying to see what they did to it. Don't quote me on this, but I think Dexter has an extra key to the library somewhere around his desk. Nancy, I heard you got locked out. You could have frozen to death. So, what was Dexter hiding out there? Glad you came down to talk. Get this. I saw Dexter walking out to the maintenance shack with this, green ornament thing in his hand. He's up to something, right? Maybe you should check it out. Can't you see I'm reading? Ever find out what Hotchkiss lost? Hey, Nancy. Well, if it isn't Dexter's little Cinderella. So what'd you find in the library? Hi there, how's it going? Hi, I'm Lisa. Did you hear what happened? Someone broke into the library and vandalized it. Dexter locked it up. He's saying the culprit must be one of us in the castle. Can you believe it?
Okay then. Bye. Thanks for the vote of confidence, but I was just on my way to a big fluffy couch. I am on vacation, you know. Well, Professor Hotchkiss, I'm not actually in the hotel business, but I'd love to help. Sure. 50 drumsticks. Whatever floats your boat. Sure. 50 drumsticks. Whatever makes you happy. What do you need me for, Professor? You're cooking a souffle in there? No tip is necessary, Professor Hotchkiss. I don't actually work here. My name's Nancy Drew. I heard your room was robbed, and I'd like to find out what was taken so that Mr. Egan can report it. It's Nancy, and I'm happy to leave the boots. But if you're not too busy, Professor, I'd just like to introduce myself properly and ask you a couple of questions. Can you remind me of what I'm looking for again? Not yet. Sure did. Nope. Just looking for someone to play Scrabble with me. Nancy Drew, at your service. No, I don't have it yet. Sure did. How about opening the door so I can give it to you? Hi, Professor. It's Nancy again. Hoping you might be ready to talk to me about the robbery. Sorry, Professor, but there's no couscous in the house. You'll need to choose something from the hotel menu. Hi, Professor. I thought you might be getting hungry in there. Could I relay a dinner order for you? It's Nancy again. Dexter needs to know what you want for dinner. I have your boots, but do you have a minute to talk with me? Your boots are coming right up, Professor Hotchkiss. I promise. What are you working on in there, anyway? Professor Hotchkiss? My name is Nancy. I'm sorry to hear that your room was robbed. Could I ask you a couple of questions about the incident? Actually, it's Nancy Drew. But I do have your boots for you. Talk to you later, Professor. See you soon. Yes, I think this could help prove your theory. But you see, I need to know what it says too. Because well, it's a long story. But I happened to find a way into the Queen's Tower, where I happened to find a secret compartment. I think this must be what the vandal was after. Was it ever found? What do you mean it disappeared? I'm on a mission of my own, Professor, so we're going to have to make a deal. I place the journal in your hands, you translate it for me. Does that sound fair? I'm sure physical combat won't be necessary, Professor. I'm glad to help you with your work, but I need your assistance in return. You're fluent in French, aren't you? I found something that I think you'll be very interested in. It seems to be some kind of journal. I think it was written by Marie Antoinette herself. What do you think of Lisa Ostrom? I saw a letter on your desk from your friend, the Baroness von Hunseldorf. And I'm just wondering, did the medallion she gave you have a blue stone in it by any chance? Do you know anything about a tiara that was given to Marie Antoinette? What do you believe? Why not? What did you mean when you said Marie Antoinette was misunderstood? Can you tell me what this means in English? La solution se trouve dedans. Can you translate this for me? Le diamant de misère dans mon journal. What does l'espoir à ceux qui cherchent mean? Why are you conducting research here at the castle? What are you working on? Have you checked your room for clues? Usually the thief leaves some sort of evidence behind. Can you tell me anything about this theory of yours? I'm thinking this robbery and the library vandalism might be linked somehow. If you told me what was taken from you, maybe I could put the pieces together. Actually, it's Dexter who's most concerned. He seems to feel very responsible for everything going smoothly at the castle while Christy Lane is away. And, well, I guess things aren't going too smoothly. I'm just trying to help him out. Wow, Professor, that's really generous of you. I'd love to learn more about your work. But are you sure you don't mind? Oh, that's all right, Professor. I don't want to invade your privacy. I did pop in there, though interesting doesn't begin to describe the place. Would you mind if I went back another time? Actually, I haven't had a chance to visit your room yet, Professor. Yes, this big old place does feel quiet at this hour. But do you think everyone is really asleep? I mean, if this is the only time you're away from your room, when else could you have been robbed? Yes, I happen to do some of my best work in the middle of the night, too. So, tell me, Professor, what is this theory you're working on? You too. I'll let you get back to your magazine. I've got to stop her. Why did you have to vandalize that beautiful library? Why are you doing this? Why did you leave Jacques' medallion at Hotchkiss's room? And Hotchkiss's medallion out in the shed? Are you the one who conked me on the head in the locker room? So you're the one who trapped me in the elevator. My eyes! Oh. Many times. Lisa, you must be kidding me. This diamond belongs in a museum in France. Hi, Lisa. How did you get in here? I'm dying to find a way into that tower. Where do they usually hide the secret entrances in weird old Midwestern mansions? When you researched this place, did you find any references to a secret garden? Did you find any other information on her? What did the critics say? Did you know Professor Hotchkiss published a book on Marie Antoinette? Does your job take you to exotic, far-off places? Do you ever get to go undercover? So tell me more about the life of a photojournalist. It must be very glamorous at times. It seems you have more than one identity, Lisa. I'm just wondering if you are who you say you are. Well, I was kind of confused. I was just trying to see whose stuff was in there, and I found a bunch of IDs in your bag. They all had your picture, and other people's names on them. There was a little mix-up with the lockers, and I accidentally opened yours. This place sounds like a soap opera. So who's Professor Hotchkiss? What do you know about Jacques Brunet? What's the scandal with Jacques Brunet? Why would it be a diamond? I think she's looking for some kind of historical document. Oh, nothing very interesting. Just a half-melted candle and some old papers that didn't make much sense. I found out that Dexter actually grew up here with Ezra until he started getting in trouble with the law and Ezra disowned him. Can you believe it? Just a lot of books and basic library stuff. Nothing major. Actually, I did find a secret room of Ezra Wickford's, but no bodies or treasure. There were a few bugs, now that you mention it. Wow, is it that obvious? I guess I'll have to work on my poker face. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. What noises? I wonder why he didn't want anyone to go into the tower. You must know a great deal about this place. I wonder why he was so antisocial. Jacques Brunet? What do you know about Professor Hotchkiss? Do you have a theory about all this? Habla español? Wow. Did she say what was stolen? You said she's a professor. Do you know what she teaches? So, who else is here? That's right, I'm Nancy. But who's this Professor Hotchkiss? I guess you've really got your finger on the pulse around here. Any other castle scandal I should know about? Really? But wouldn't it be wrong to take it? Good thing I'm not the type to let frostbite interfere with my love of trespassing, huh? Too bad I didn't find anything. I don't know. It just looked like your average maintenance shed to me. So, next time you give me a hot tip, Lisa, it better come with some earmuffs. No, she just wants me to be her pet gopher. She thinks there's something in this castle that will change Marie Antoinette's place in history. Thanks for the tip, Lisa. I think I will. Want to come along? If you're so interested, why don't you go check it out yourself? Not yet, but now that I'm her honorary research assistant, I'll be able to study her room. Hopefully I'll pick up some clues in there while I'm brushing up on my French history. Yeah, well, she still won't tell me what was stolen. Seems like she's suspicious of everyone. Please, Lisa, you know it's off limits. How do you know I was in the library? Why would it be one of us? I didn't hear about the library. Do you know what happened? Yeah, Dexter just told me the library is a disaster area and that it's totally off limits. Looks like my innocent trip to the movies is fast becoming another case. I just hope I can solve it before they tear this place down. I could have sworn I heard someone up here. There it is again. Someone must be up there. Deidre, is that you? It's Nancy. What was that? It sounded like it came from up on the catwalk. I'm gonna check it out. Deidre, are you back here? Oh, this is much bigger than I imagined. Look at the size of this curtain. Well, here's Deidre's dressing room. Wow, she's got quite a setup. But I guess she's not around. Maybe she slipped out through one of the secret passageways that these old theaters are famous for. I guess when you're a star, you need an emergency exit sometimes to avoid the press. Maybe Deidre's backstage, getting ready to introduce the film. I can't wait to talk to our old friends Deidre and Brady and find out how it is to be famous. To think we once went to school with them in River Heights, and now they're movie stars. Can you believe I'm about to see the premiere of Night of the Venus Moon and the last screening ever at the Century Theater? This place has been a landmark for almost a century, and now, in just 3 days, it's going to be demolished. I wish I could have visited the place back in the day when they had magic shows here, before it was turned into a movie theater. All the great magicians have performed here, even Harry Houdini. It's still filled with the old props that the magicians used to create their illusions. Beth! George! It's stuck. Maybe I should try during the day. Let me try this again. It's so dark in here. It's too late. I should wait until I'm alone. Something's missing here. It's locked. I don't want to bother her. Sounds like the radiator is broken. Sure is dusty. The combination is 517, but it's not working. Ouch! Oh, someone must have knocked me out. I wonder if the lock is broken. It's freezing out here. Gosh, I can hardly feel my toes. Got to stay warm. Let's see. What was his combo? Was it 2665? Or no, maybe it was 5253. I better write it down. This is fascinating. So the tower in this castle is the one Marie Antoinette used to visit. Doing some research, I hope. He's probably online. I shouldn't be calling so late. He's probably asleep. This is no dream. This is really happening. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. That was a weird dream. Oops. Sounds like someone is afraid of the dark. I'd better pry these off carefully so they can be replaced. Cute, George. Very cute. Why am I not alarmed? I guess that doesn't work either. It doesn't appear to be operating. Oh, great. That must be the diamond. The diamond! If I turn on the ski lift, that should let them know I'm out here. I need to get somebody's attention. I need to think of another way to get people's attention. No one's answering. Hope I can jump that far. It'll be a close call. This'll buy me some time. But it's still so cold in here. It's too far to jump. Alley-oop! It's not working. They're already recharged. The phone lines must be down. It's too dark. I should take the elevator. This probably controls the ski lift. Oops. Looks like they're ready. I wonder if the power's on. It'll probably take a couple of hours. I'll need to recharge them. Looks like the batteries are dead. Don't want to do that. That's it. And what's a diamond key? But where have I seen a purple rose? Key of Queen. Hold diamond, purple rose. Let's see. I think I see what the symbols in the stained glass mean now. I can figure out what those symbols in the stained glass mean. But the message doesn't make much sense. I wonder if I'm missing something. It looks like some sort of decoder. Each of these symbols stands for a certain word. I'm sure this can be repaired, but I hate to do this. I need something to pry these tiles off. The key must be hidden behind this mosaic. The medallion must act like a filter. I don't want to leave that in there. This must be what the professor was looking at in her video. I'll take that. There, that fits. Now all I need is a mailbox. I should mail this. Now where did I put my key? Better not lock myself out of my own room. It's not working. Looks like some kind of prison. I'd better take my key with me. Looks like a keyhole of some sorts. Alley-oop! If I don't get inside soon, I'll freeze to death. Jacques, can you hear me? Jacques, open the door. I'm locked out. Looks like this is my only way out. The power's out. Hello there, dead end. My name's Nancy Drew. I've hit the wall. This one goes nowhere. Yet another dead end. Dead end. The elevator's in the way. There's something down there. Uh-oh. What just happened? There, that should do it. Okay. Here goes. I'm not sure if I can make it. I'm not really hungry at the moment. This is Nancy Drew. Hello?
Dear Dad, to think I almost became friends with a diamond thief. Everyone at Wickford Castle is resting easier now that Marie Antoinette's journal and her famous diamond are safe and sound. The journal, the diamond, and the medallions are all going to be featured in a new Marie Antoinette exhibit in Paris, and it looks like everyone will be rewarded. Except Lisa, of course. First, she missed her plane to Rio, and now she's going to be charged with attempted grand theft. Professor Hotchkiss is thrilled because the French government has granted her permission to publish Marie's journal in the U.S. before it gets returned to France. This ought to help prove her theory about Marie's character once and for all. Thanks to Jacques and his great-grandfather's efforts to find the journal, the Brunet name is being celebrated all over France. In the meantime, Jacques and Isabel have eloped. It's so romantic. I showed Dexter the poem that Ezra Wickford wrote him, and he was relieved to know that his old pop didn't carry any hard feelings to his grave. All the talk shows want Dexter to tell his story on national television, but he keeps turning them down. I guess he doesn't want to be famous or infamous. But when Christy Lane called and asked Dexter to be her business partner, he accepted. With her business sense and Dexter's expert knowledge of the castle, I think they'll make a great team. So, you know what they say, Dad. Il n'est jamais trop tard de changer l'histoire. It's never too late to change history. Me, I'm determined to go out and enjoy this snow before some other case comes up. See you soon. Love, Nancy. Dear George, so much for my Wisconsin ski vacation. I arrived here at Wickford Castle last night, just before a blizzard swept in. The mountain is completely shut down, and the surrounding roads are closed. I think I'm one of the few guests who made it to the castle at all. The place is huge and old, and slightly creepy under the circumstances. You should hear this wind. What's more, the owner, Christy Lane, my father's friend, is away on business. I tried to ask the caretaker, Dexter Egan, how I could contact her, but he said he didn't know. Doesn't that seem odd? I couldn't help feeling like there was something he wasn't telling me. All this makes me a little nervous, but I'm determined to enjoy myself. After all, this is a vacation, right? I have big plans to explore the castle. That Ezra Wickford, the original owner, must have been quite a character to have built such an extraordinary place. It's filled with strange, dead-end corridors, for one thing, and I noticed one of the towers is totally different from the other ones. Of course, I'll have to save some time to meet Jacques Brunet, the French ski instructor. Tell Bess she'll be the first to know if he's half as gorgeous in person as he looks on his website. So, George, I guess things never quite go according to plan, but at least this time the culprit is just a snowstorm. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
Bye. Go get him, Nancy. Call me soon. Keep me posted. Why didn't you punch in the code?
I tried, but I couldn't do it fast enough.
Seems like your lightning reflexes are a little fizzled out. Maybe a little holiday from the detective work will do you good.
I'd rest a lot easier if I could have cracked this case first.
Why didn't you punch in the code?
I tried, but I must have had the wrong numbers.
Seems like your lightning reflexes are a little fizzled out. Maybe a little holiday from the detective work will do you good.
I'd rest a lot easier if I could have cracked this case first.
I'm surprised, Nancy. Usually you do your homework before you go barging into no trespassing zones.
I should have known there was an alarm.
Or maybe there was a more creative way to get into the library. Better luck next time. Didn't you hear Dexter coming?
Yeah, but I didn't know what to do. I guess I just froze.
It's not like you, Nancy. You always know how to make an emergency exit. Maybe you really do need some rest.
Who can think of rest and relaxation when there's a mystery to solve?
Sounds like a field trip to the elevator is in order. There must be a button that moves that counterweight out of the way. Just be careful because as it goes up, the elevator's gonna come down. Well, you're the professor's honorary research assistant. That door in the elevator shaft must lead to the tower. Get the elevator out of the way so you can get a closer look at the door. I'm sure if Ezra went to this much trouble to hide the entrance, there's gonna be some kind of trick to getting through the door, too. You're getting close to Marie's journal. You need to unscramble that leaf pattern on the wall. Those pieces can be picked up and moved around. They rotate, too. Start by getting the four corners in place, and it'll be all downhill from there. Use the oil can Dexter left in your room to loosen up the lever at the base of the elevator shaft. Maybe the lever opens up the hatch. The only thing between you and the Queen's Tower now is those missing stairs. Solve the puzzle at the bottom of the stairs by getting each of those pieces to the home that matches it. Use the pieces as barricades to help each other out. You may have to play around with it, but when you get it, presto, your stairway will emerge. The tower, Nancy. You've got to get in there. Isn't it about time you went through that hatch at the base of the elevator shaft? Those hanging chains in the tunnel are the key to getting across the pit. Look at the plates on the opposite wall to see what position each chain should be in. The bad news is that pulling one chain might make another one change positions. The good news? When you get it right, that stone bridge will rotate so you can cross. Gee, Nancy, maybe you should see if Hotchkiss has polished off those drumsticks so she can tell you about the robbery. Look at the symbols on the crest and use the decoder to figure out which medallion goes in which hole. But be careful in the tower. Whoever's after that diamond is probably hot on your trail. Get some dust on the brush. There must be some on the floor beneath the hole in the library. Once you can pick up Dexter's prints, you can figure out the code. That portrait of Marie Antoinette in the tower. Don't you see? It's all part of her plan. She meant for you to pry off those purple rose tiles. You'll need a sharp tool. Maybe the guy in the suit of armor can lend you one. So you need a brush and some dust, right? How about borrowing one of Jacques' paintbrushes and some dust from that hole in the wall of the library? Hotchkiss said the translation is ready in her room. What are you waiting for? Let's see. To enter through the main door of the library, first you need the extra key from Dexter's desk. As for the alarm code, Dexter's fingerprint should still be on the keypad. I don't know much about fingerprinting techniques, but Maybe there's some info in one of your detective magazines. You must be dying to know what those messages mean. I bet Hotchkiss would be happy to translate them for you. Dexter promised to fix your radiator, right? Maybe you'd better go back to your room and check on his handiwork. Put each medallion in the peephole that Hotchkiss found. They should reveal secret messages and some important symbols. Did you tell Jacques to defrost the chicken legs? I bet it'll take eons to thaw 50 of them. Take another look around Hotchkiss's room. Maybe you'll uncover some new evidence. There must be a menu in your room. I'm sure there's something on it to tempt the professor's taste buds. Those batteries take about a day to recharge, but once you get them, you'll be able to see the second half of Hotchkiss's videotape and find out what her big discovery was. Have you told Dexter what Hotchkiss wants for dinner yet? You need to find out what the journal says. I don't trust that Jacques Brunet. But what about Hotchkiss? She must be fluent in French. Talk to Hotchkiss. She must be famished from all that typing by now. Now that you have the brass key, you can get into the tower. You must be really excited to check it out. Has Dexter fixed your radiator yet? You'd better see if there's any way you can help move him along on this. Aren't you going to follow up on Lisa's tip? Maybe Dexter is hiding something in that shed. Just don't be afraid to cause a ruckus if you get into any danger out there. Your suspect list needs some filling out. Take a good look at those scrapbooks and any other papers that Ezra might have left. They might offer you some insight. Maybe you should talk to Lisa and see what she's been up to. Light that candle in the secret room so you can look around. Is there a book of matches or a lighter in the room anywhere? I think you're getting close to some answers. Put the camcorder batteries in the recharger so you can watch the rest of the videotape. The puzzle behind the plaque must have opened up a secret room somewhere. Check out the upstairs of the library. But hurry up before Dexter takes advantage of all your hard work. Check out that camcorder in Hotchkiss's room. Maybe she keeps some of her important notes on videotape. That apparatus behind the plaque is called a sextant. Move the lever back and forth along that number line and plug in the numbers from the slip of paper you found in the globe. Listen carefully as the door to Ezra's secret world unlocks. Take another look in Jacques' locker. He did give you the combo, didn't he? And after all, what are the odds of you getting knocked out twice? Check out that old globe. The dial on top shows geographic longitudes. When you line it up to the longitude of Wisconsin, the globe will open up. I bet that's where Ezra used to hide the solution to the puzzle behind the plaque. Try moving that sundial around and see what happens. What did Ezra say in his poem? The luck charm is stashed in the back of his old troubled head or something? Go back and take another look around the library. Just think, if you were Ezra Wickford, where would you hide your life's secrets? The latch on the garden gate must be frozen. Try using that lighter to melt the ice. Call the elevator to the basement. Go in, but don't push any of the buttons. Then climb out the roof of it like you did when you were stuck. Cross the landing and climb up the maintenance ladder to the ventilation duct. Who knows where that duct might lead to? You need to be straight with Dexter about where that red dirt came from if you want to gain his trust. Maybe then he'll tell you where Ezra's secret garden is. If you want to get this case moving, you're going to have to check out the library, right? But stay on your toes in there, and be ready to do a disappearing act. You don't want to get busted for trespassing. Talk to Dexter and see what's going on with him. You'd better see what's up with that circuit breaker if you ever want Dexter to fix your radiator. You still need the key to that iron gate in the tunnel, right? Check out the shed. Gee, Nancy, I wish I could help, but I don't know what to do. Sounds like time to hit the history books. Check out the ones in the lobby. Now that the storm has passed, I'm sure you want to do some outdoor investigating. Just don't stay out there for too long. You won't be nearly as effective if your brain freezes over. The castle sounds huge. You're going to wear yourself out unless you start taking the elevator. But remember, the castle is old and may not be in the best working order. Just be careful, and don't take any unnecessary leaps. Sounds like time for a field trip to the spiral staircase. You'll need to slide those bolts quickly. If they stay in the position you put them in, then you're on the right track. But be on your toes. The combination may be different the next time around. Talk to Jacques Brunet. He's got the boots, right? Once you deliver them to Hotchkiss, you'll be on everyone's good side.
I'm trying to decide what to do next. Any thoughts?
Hold on. Thinking cap on. Stand by for a hint. I'd like to help Nancy, but I think you'd better ask Bess and George. My brain is still recovering from midterms.
Put on your thinking cap. I need a hint.
Interesting. So she didn't come to Wickford Castle for the skiing. Wonder what all the ruckus about those boots was for. She's definitely after something.
Just because she's doing some research doesn't make her the villain.
No, but it puts her on the suspect list, don't you think?
She definitely acts weird. I think she's pretty paranoid since the robbery. But then, I guess she trusts me because she gave me an extra key to her room.
That's awesome. Now you can find out what she's up to in there. Within where? Within your heart?
A decoder in your heart?
Wait a second. Maybe it's connected to that other message. Diamond of Misery in my journal. You will find the decoder within. Don't you see? Within the journal, you'll find a decoder that will help you find the diamond. Marie Antoinette's about the only person I ever heard of who could be made miserable by a diamond. She wouldn't actually be able to hide it in the pages of her journal. But maybe she wrote about it. Or maybe the journal tells where it is. Well, it's pretty cryptic. But it sounds like whoever left the message wanted to encourage the curious. Like you, Nancy. It sounds like Marie gave the medallion to the family of that Baroness Helga in Austria. Maybe Helga gave it to Hotchkiss when they became friends in order to help with her research. Maybe Monsieur Leboeuf took it from Marie when he captured her at Varennes. And then Wickford bought it from Leboeuf's family when he bought the library. Purple rose, diamond key.
What do you think that's supposed to mean?
Well, it's probably safe to say that any real rose from Marie Antoinette's time is wilted and gone by now, right? So maybe it's a picture of a rose you're looking for. Something hidden behind a picture. And I don't know what a diamond key is. Unless maybe it means key to the diamond. How about calling the elevator up to another floor?
But then how do I get into the elevator shaft? I can't just climb out of the elevator and then jump.
Guess you'll have to go through that ventilation duct and climb down the ladder.
So you're recommending I go through the front door of the library?
Sure, I know it's a little boring for your taste, but at least the burglar alarm will spice things up a little. You'd better do some research on that code. With all the history behind that place, I'll bet it's full of grumpy old ghosts.
Ned, since when do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know, but it sure sounds cool, doesn't it? Anyway, where are the sounds coming from?
That's just it. They seem to be coming from behind certain walls.
I bet they're coming from inside the tower. You've got to find the entrance, Nancy, only if it's a crazy one.
Ezra Wickford also imported the library, and it seems that he bought it from the family of Jean Leboeuf, the revolutionary commander who captured Marie Antoinette when she was trying to escape from France.
You're kidding. So Wickford imported Marie's tower and her enemy's library?
Exactly.
Doesn't Leboeuf mean the cow in French?
Actually, I think it just means the beef.
Well, in any case, I bet the guy would be happy to know that his library ended up in the heart of America's Dairyland. Who's that? Ezra Wickford's wife?
Are you kidding? Marie Antoinette was a famous queen of France.
And she used to hang out in Wisconsin?
No, silly. The tower was originally part of the Chateau Rochemont in France. Ezra Wickford fell in love with the tower and imported it to Wisconsin.
And Marie didn't want to come along.
Well, that would have been pretty tough for her, considering... Ned Nickerson, are you pulling my leg?
What do you mean, Nancy?
You know very well that Marie Antoinette was beheaded in 1793, don't you?
Well, yeah. I guess I read something about that when I studied the French Revolution. But when did Wickford show up?
He didn't discover the tower until the 1920s, over 100 years after Marie's death.
Whew! I think I'm all clear now. Thanks for straightening that out for me, Detective.
You are some pain in the neck, pal.
Good thing I'm so cute. Maybe the detective entrance isn't through a door at all. There must be a more creative way to drop in on the crime scene.
You don't think I should just borrow Dextra's extra key from the front desk?
I don't know, Nancy. Waltzing right through the front door isn't very adventurous, and it might not be as easy as you think. You'd better go back out there and double check. Just be careful. I've got a weird feeling about old Lisa. Do you think you can trust Lisa? I mean, you're a great girl and all, Nancy. But why's she being so buddy-buddy with you anyway?
I think she just likes to gossip.
Gossip or lie?
Ned!
All I'm saying is, take what she says with a grain of salt, okay? Do you think Dexter stole it?
I don't know how else it could have gotten from Hotchkiss's room out to the shed. But then again, why wouldn't he hide it better? Do you think I should give the medallion back to the professor?
No way. You don't know who's up to what around that castle. She can have her medallion back after you solve this case, provided that she doesn't turn out to be the bad guy. Good thinking. I can't wait to hear what it says. Are you crazy? Both Hotchkiss and Jacques came all the way to Wisconsin just to find that journal. Don't you think it must contain some critical information? You've got to find out what it says. Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Well, you're a sound for sore ears. Bess called me and told me your vacation is rapidly turning into another mystery. So who do you think the vandal is? Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Well, you're a sound for sore ears. Bess called me and told me your vacation is rapidly turning into another mystery. So what's the latest? Sounds like you need a translator. Who do you trust more, Jacques or Professor Hotchkiss?
Well, Jacques is hardly even talking to me since my little head bump incident.
I don't like the sound of that guy anyway. And besides, Hotchkiss is just typing like mad in her room, not sawing through iron gates. See if she'll translate it for you. What did it say?
In the journal, Marie Antoinette explains everything about what she did with the tiara, as well as where to find her hidden key.
What did it say?
The journal contained an important decoder and Marie's explanation about why she had the tiara dismantled. It's fascinating. I think I'm close to finding the diamond. Let's just hope I get to it before someone else does.
What did it say?
It's all in French, so I asked Professor Hotchkiss to translate it.
What did it say?
I didn't know if it was all right to take it, so I left it in the compartment.
What did it say?
I'm not sure. It's all in French.
Maybe you can rotate them somehow so that the pattern matches up with the rest of the wall. Go back and take a closer look around. There must be something unusual on one of those walls that will leave a clue as to the location. So what did you find in the tower room?
I found the secret compartment, and sure enough, Marie Antoinette's journal was inside.
So what did you find in the tower room?
I think the secret compartment must be behind the mixed-up panels on the wall, but I don't know how to rearrange them.
So what did you find in the tower room?
It's a beautiful room, all in gold, but I couldn't find any secret compartment. I really don't know. It would help if I could at least imagine a motive, but why would anyone want to vandalize a beautiful old library?
There must be more to it than meets the eye. Sounds like you better find a way to get in there and take a look around.
I think whatever's going on around here must have something to do with the castle's history and the tower that Ezra Wickford imported from France.
What do you mean?
It's just a hunch. I'll know more once I find my way into the tower. What's going on with you?
Ah, the usual. Just buried in books over here. Hello?
Ned, I finally got into the Queen's Tower. Would you believe I had to get past some retracting stairs first?
So if the stairs are retracted, you can't go up the tower?
Right.
Some security system. I wouldn't want to be standing on the stairs when they decided to start disappearing back into the wall.
Me neither. It would be quite a fall.
Hello?
Hi, Ned.
Hey, detective, any new developments?
I went outside to follow up on a tip that Lisa gave me, and I got locked out.
Uh-oh. How did that happen?
I don't know, but it was scary. I thought I was going to turn into a human popsicle out there.
Thank goodness you're okay. How'd you get back inside?
I sent an SOS by activating the ski lift, and Dexter found me.
You're some problem solver.
Well, at least I've got that going for me.
Which is good. I just hope he didn't lock you out on purpose in the first place. Maybe to scare you off. Did anything pan out on that tip?
Not a thing. But then, I was in such a rush. Maybe I didn't investigate enough.
Hello?
Hi, Ned.
Hey, detective, any new developments?
I went outside to follow up on a tip that Lisa gave me, and I got locked out.
Uh-oh. How did that happen?
I don't know, but it was scary. I thought I was going to turn into a human popsicle out there.
Thank goodness you're okay. How'd you get back inside?
I sent an SOS by activating the ski lift, and Dexter found me.
You're some problem solver.
Well, at least I've got that going for me.
Which is good. I just hope he didn't lock you out on purpose in the first place. Maybe to scare you off. Did anything pan out on that tip?
I found a green medallion, all right, but it doesn't make sense. If it really was Dexter who took the medallion, he sure didn't do a very good job of hiding it.
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Alvin? Bruno?
Ha ha, very funny.
Oh, Nancy. Nancy Drew. Why, how do you do? Hello?
Hi again.
Hey, Nancy. How's the case coming along? Ned Nickerson Hotline, can I help you?
Well, hello there. I sure hope you can help.
Hey, Nancy, I thought it might be you. What's up? Hello?
Hi again.
Hey, Nancy. What's the latest? Hi, you've reached Ned at Omega Chi Epsilon. I'm not here to take your call right now, so please try again later. Thanks.
La la, I do believe I'll peep. Shall I peep? It appears to be some kind of peephole. But what, pray, does it peep upon? Oh, what's this? Nancy, this is your mentor speaking. Things are looking uncommonly out of sorts in here. I just hope I haven't had another intruder. Please remember that passkey I gave you is not for sharing. Watch out for weird people. Goodbye. Righto. This is it. I've been trying to track this down for 15 years. Where on earth did you find it? Oh, she didn't want it. Refused to wear it. And then, a few months before the revolution broke out, the tiara disappeared. Absolutely, I'll get to work on it right away. I'll have the translation ready in my room for you this time tomorrow. Until then, I mustn't be disturbed. Nancy, I must warn you. I'll wrestle you for this if I have to, and it won't be pretty. What? Let me see that. That Leslie, yes. Oh, a real dynamo, but... I told Chester that I would not require any maid service during my stay. I don't know why she didn't get the message. Heavens, no! Where did you hear such a thing? My medallion had a green stone in it. Anything else would be a mere imposter. A flaming faker, do you hear me? It was never found. There were rumors that she had it destroyed, but no one has ever been able to prove this. The infamous tiara, of course! Oh, people thought Marie had this extravagant piece commissioned for herself, and they hated her for it. But really, it was her husband, King Louis XVI, who had it made for her birthday. I believe that she's been the victim of vicious rumors and lazy historians for too long, and that if the real story could be told, people would realize that Marie Antoinette was actually a good woman who wanted to help her people but didn't know how. Everyone thought Marie did nothing but spend France's money on jewels and fancy soap for herself, while her people were starving. History books have upheld the myth that she was just a spoiled and heartless brat, but I don't believe it. Well, trouver is to find, and solution is just like it sounds. Solution. The solution is found within. Now, where the heck have I seen that phrase before? Well, anyway, it means the diamond of misery in my journal. Let's see. Well, espoir is hope, and chercher is to search. Hope to those who search. I'm convinced that this place holds evidence that will forever change the way the world views Marie. But the walls have ears, so I'd rather not say any more right now. I'm still working on it, but you're more than welcome to examine it while I'm not in my room. I see. Well, suit yourself, but please don't expect me to entertain you with idle chit-chat. All right then, bye-bye. Of course not. Pop in all you like, just not when I'm working. Clues, you say? I guess I haven't really looked. Oh, I've been utterly embroiled in my work. I'd like to tell you more about the robbery, but I'm afraid it just wouldn't be good for my blood pressure. I'm traumatized, you see, because the stolen item was a keepsake from a dear friend, and it was a cornerstone of my theory. I'm sure you understand. You're right on that. This is the only time that someone could break into my room. But why are you so interested in this robbery anyway? I insist! Your mind is like a ravenous monkey gobbling up every banana in its path. Oh, how can I stand in the way? Here's my extra passkey. I get back to work at 6 a.m. sharp, so just make sure you vacate the premises by 5:59. And put things back where you find them. It's all scientifically organized in there. Oh, if you're really interested, why don't you go up to my room and have a look around yourself? You've been such a great help to me, almost like an apprentice. Oh, I've always wanted an apprentice. Well, you probably know by now that I'm a scholar of French history. My specialty is Marie Antoinette. Oh, poor Marie. The most misunderstood queen of the 18th century. Marie used to visit the very tower that now belongs to this castle. Hi there, Nancy. Hello there. Oh, it's so exciting about your discovery. I wonder what it will lead to. I'm so glad you stopped by. I've translated the entire journal. It's fabulous. And as an added bonus, it includes Marie's official decoder, something no one else has ever found before. Yes, dear? Hello, my fellow night owl. Or perhaps I should say hoot hoot. Ooh. Did you find anything of interest in my room? Nancy, dear, welcome to the witching hour. Isn't it marvelous to be up and about when others are sound asleep? I find my brainwaves are at their most powerful during this time. Rock and roll, dear. I'll have a nice tip for you next time, Fanny. Who knows? If you succeed, I might whisk you away from the hotel business to be my personal research assistant. Baby back ribs, yes. Oh, chili cheese dog, fried bologna sandwich. I'm not usually much of a meat eater, but very well. 50 drumsticks, please. Chicken, that is. Cluck, cluck. Oh, you're a sneaky one. Just slip it under the door, please. Nice and easy. No funny stuff. Eureka! If there's one thing I like in a young person, it's ingenuity. Now, I've got work to do. Time to stir the cauldron and stoke the fire. But if you'd like to talk, I'll be holding office hours in the lobby between 3 and 6 a.m. Meet me then. Eureka! If there's one thing I like in a young person, it's ingenuity. Now, I've got work to do. Time to stir the cauldron and stoke the fire. But if you'd like to talk, I'll be holding office hours in the lobby between 3 and 6 a.m. Meet me then. You're lucky I don't mind repeating myself. Now, are you listening? Allow me to refresh your memory. That's okay. There's something more pressing now anyway. I can't seem to find that one. Well, here's another one. Oh, you're gumming up the works here, Brandy. I need that number to proceed. You're holding up the show here, Sandy. Now, bring me the data. The early bird does not dilly-dally, dear. She catches the worm. You want the worm, don't you, Candy? Now, chop, chop. Well, what are you waiting for? Some kind of planetary alignment? Get to work, please, Mandy. I thought I said don't come back without some answers. No, that can't be it. It doesn't fit my calculations. You'll need to try again. Thank you. Let me do some calculations to see if this is correct. Now, please write your answer and slip it under the door. Good, but I need you to write it down so I don't forget. I'll be very eager to hear what you come up with. But please, don't disturb me unless you have the answer. How old was Marie Antoinette when she married King Louis? How many points are there on the rose compass on the floor of the lobby? How many days before her 38th birthday was Marie Antoinette executed? What is the model number on the elevator? On what date was the Bastille prison destroyed during the French Revolution? How many dead-end doorways does the castle have? Not counting the towers, how many windows are there on the face of the castle? Marvelous! Here's what I need to know. I see. Well, I don't suppose we have anything further to discuss. Goodbye. What I need is some information about the castle. Hard numbers. I've come to the conclusion that you are an enterprising and faithful soul. Therefore, I have decided to entrust you with this important mission. Oh, don't take me too literally, dear. Oh, I'm glad you're here. At the moment, my theory is rising like a magnificent souffle. I need to collect a few more ingredients, if you will, but it's a delicate situation. If I leave my room even for a moment, I fear the souffle will come crashing down in a heap. Get with the program here, Brandy. I need sustenance, nourishment. G-R-U-B. My blood sugar plummets. Please see to my dinner. You toy with me while my belly rumbles? Why? Why? Oh, can't talk now, dear. The energy globules have brought on a carbo rush. I'm a little out of my head, desperate for protein all of a sudden. Well, I don't have a menu. At least not from this hotel. Oh, be a doll and fetch me one, will you, ta-ta? Oh, hard to think of food, Candy, when I'm riding the raging rapids of my theory. Oh, right now, I have plenty of pre-packaged energy globules to keep me going. But tell Baxter that I am developing a powerful craving for couscous. Yes, couscous for dinner would be splendid. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Now, vamoose. Let me work. Beep. Professor Hotchkiss is not available at this time. Thank you and goodbye. Beep. Everything's under control, dear. Nothing to report. Thank you for my boots. My poor feet have been feeling so exposed. Questions, yes, and proper introduction sounds lovely, but not now, maybe later. Oh, good. Boots, fine. Thank you. Everything is fine. Just leave the boots at the door, please. Oh, and it seems I'm out of change. I'll just have to tip you the next time, Mandy. Yes. Did you find the information I asked you for? Not now, please. I'm trying to think. Unless you've decided to help me. Is that you, Brandy? Did you get the menu? Is that my couscous already? Ugh! Virginia Woolf never endured such interruptions. Who is it? That must be my boots at last. Yes, hello. Is that Jacques with my boots? Sweet as the smell of fried chicken. The beauty, the colors. So this is what Helga told me to look for. Where's my medallion? It fits! Note to self, high five Team Hotchkiss. And what's this? A message? Eureka! It says the diamond. Oh, what's this? It appears to be some kind of peephole. But what, pray, does it peep upon? Shall I peep? La la, I do believe I'll peep. Oh, and there's Marie. I feel so close to her, just being here. It's as if her spirit is in the air. Now, let's get a look at these hallways. So rich in detail. You'd never know this place was built in 1920. It's all so 18th C. Testing. Can anyone hear me? Hotchkiss to Earth. Come in, Earth. Oh, okay. I think we're rolling.